Hello and welcome to Justice. I'm Judge Jeanine Its. Thanks for being with us tonight. The Democratic National Committee's convention in Philadelphia was about lovely ideas. It was about unity and inclusion and global humanity, concepts that we're stronger together. Cue the birds and the butterflies and that law library love story of Hillary and Bull. Oh, sorry, Hillary and Bill. It sounded so sweet. They're all wonderful themes. But without addressing whether you can even believe a word that comes out of Hillary's mouth, that kumbaya stuff has absolutely nothing to do with being a leader. A leader is one who drives the economy, creates a strong national defense, and is painstakingly honest. So pull your heads out of the sand and snap out of it. A leader is someone who protects you, who sets the stage so you can make a living and feed your family. What does this kumbaya fest have to do with the crisis that is facing Americans today? And whether you like him or not, Donald Trump talks about real issues. Hillary says he paints a dark, divisive picture of an America in decline. But ask yourselves, are you better off? Do you feel safer than you were before these two got into power? Is America more united than it was? Are race relations better? Is police esteem anywhere near where it was 8 years ago? It was during those Obama-Clinton years that 22 veterans a day committed suicide, not even able to make an appointment with a doctor. And whether you like him or not, Donald Trump is hitting the core issues, asking all the right questions, starting all the right conversations. A man who is willing to take on political correctness that is destroying this nation. Do illegal immigrants coming across our southern border include criminals? After 60 years, is NATO simply an organization in search of a mission? How do we stop ISIS and radical Islam in our homeland? But instead of giving him credit, we denounce him. So who are you going to believe? The one who says she has the best of intentions and a heart of gold? Don't be so naive. Even a hard-boiled egg has a heart of gold. And the last night of the Democratic convention was all theater, political theater. Even Hillary's video was Hollywood orchestrated by Shonda Rhimes, who ironically writes the TV hit Scandal about a president having an affair in the White House. And while the theater of flag waving was going on inside the convention theater, the American flag was being burned outside as Mexican and Palestinian flags were being waved. Hillary, the consummate Washington insider, tells you that she will be your savior.
In my first 100 days, we will work with both parties to pass the biggest investment in new, good-paying jobs since World War II.
Didn't Obama already do that? And I still haven't met one person who got one of those shovel-ready jobs. And then the next day, Hillary starts.
I think that we've got to have more good jobs. We've got to raise wages. We've got to tackle inequality. We've got to make this economy work for everyone, not just those at the top.
All good, except we can't believe a word of your promise. You said the same thing in 2000 when you ran for Senate from New York, promising 200,000 jobs to upstate New York, including farmers suffering from a defeated economy. Not only did you not deliver any of those 200,000 jobs, but New York suffered a net loss of 6,300 jobs. Hillary and they make the economy work for not just those at the top. Aren't you the one at the top? You take your money, obscene amounts, from Wall Street. How did you go from being dead broke to being worth more than $200 million while in government? And how about that tax-free alleged 501c3 Clinton Family Foundation that's gotten more than $2 billion since you've been in office? That so-called charitable organization, where it's estimated that 85% of expenses are for travel, meals, hotels, airfare for many ex-Clinton operatives, leaving 15% for charities. And I'm not even going to discuss the human rights-hating countries that gave you that money and what they got in return from you. But since more than 60% of Americans don't believe a word that comes out of your mouth anyway, let's move on to someone else. General Allen. You gotta love that four-star kick-ass Marine drill sergeant barking at the convention.
To our enemies, we will pursue you as only America can. You will fear us. And to ISIS and others, we will defeat you. We know that she, as no other, knows how to use all instruments of American power, not just the military, to keep us all safe and free.
Say what? Did she lose those instruments when her ambassador and the men in Benghazi needed help? It was her use of American power as Secretary of State that started the disaster in Libya that culminated in Benghazi. It was while she was in charge of our foreign policy that the JV team ISIS barreled through Iraq and has since arrived on our homeland. It was under her leadership that the whole Middle East went into flames. General, were you even a part of the discussion that led to our early withdrawal from Iraq? Do you support the rules of engagement that tie our soldiers' hands behind their backs in Afghanistan? And while we're at it, you talk about our precious Muslims? Did you make one peep about our precious veterans dying waiting to see a doctor at the Veterans Administration? Did you object to the sequester, the reduction of our armed forces? With all due respect, General, you belittle yourself. And how about the rest of the convention? I get that we're stronger together, but do you really think it's a good idea to showcase those who came here illegally at a national presidential convention? And to showcase the mothers whose sons were killed in law enforcement confrontations? Not the least of which was the mother of Michael Brown. Michael Brown was a thug who had just committed a strong-armed robbery and reached for a cop's gun. And during the hard-fought moment of silence for cops killed by African Americans because they were white, the chants of Black Lives Matter disrespected the silence at the Democratic convention. Now, Hillary Clinton and her husband are fundamentally dishonest. And whether or not you buy the Liars Convention theme of Stronger Together, you still have to deal with the issues confronting America. So let's get rid of the birds chirping and the butterflies fluttering and the long white flowery skirt that Hillary wore. It's all political theater, folks, with lip service to themes of unity and oneness. Just to prove my point, the woman who jeopardized our national security with her private server had her emails hacked again. And for all you women out there who think that electing a female president will lift us all up, just ask yourselves if electing an African-American president lifted up the blacks in this country or made race relations better. It's time to face reality and the ugly truth of the world that we live in and how we're going to survive in it. And that's my open. Tell me what you think on my Facebook page or Twitter. #Judge Jeanine.